Tony Castañeda, the Latin Jazz Band. We've been together since, this group has been together since 1998, so do the math, 26 years. We played here when it was cigar night, because it was still allowed to smoke at the time. And this was one of the first bars downtown where it was service night, where people that worked in the service industry, one of their only nights out is Sunday night. So a lot of people used to come here. A lot of great jazz musicians and rock musicians have come by here to the Cardinal Bar after doing gigs in town or doing something else around. So, Los Lobos came by and jammed with us. The band War came down. A lot of great musicians have come through town would like to come down here on Sunday nights. It was a good thing. And like I said, we would go on all night. So we did that for about 12 years in a row. Cardinal Bar sat empty for like 4 years, and it was dirty and grimy, and people that used to work here and friends in the community put in an offer to buy the place, and they did. There's a full kitchen here now at the Cardinal Bar. So anyhow, the first thing they wanted is when they reopened that very week, we had talked, and they said, well, we want you every week. So we're back here. We'll be celebrating being here for a year. It's cool, it's a good crowd, and it's a mixed crowd in terms of, it's an intergenerational crowd, if you will. There's some people that, there's some young people, and there's people my age. I came to Madison, I started playing with a band called Old Mecca, which was Madison's first Latin jazz band, and this was 1977, 78. As a matter of fact, the band was formed by Arno Gonzalez, who's our timbale player in our band. Currently, he formed the band Old Mecca. That band lasted for about 20 years, off and on. It was known as a band that refused to die, because we never called it quits, and we still haven't to this day. So. But this band was kind of an extension of that spirit. And being a Chicano, my uncle, who bought me my first trumpet, he was in a band in Racine, Wisconsin area, and they played around Milwaukee and Chicago, whatever. And it was a Latin orchestra, horns and singers, and so it was like a full orchestra. They used to practice at my aunt's basement. I remember when we were little kids, so we got to hear them. And that probably had a lot to do with, bringing on that interest in Latin jazz. And of course, it's my culture. So. And Anders joined a little while later on saxophone. We've had other players come and go, a lot of percussionists. And Luca Padnow plays with us. He's a guitarist. And myself, Henry Babe, Dave Stoller, Anders, Luca, and Arno Gonzalez on the timbales. We're really a sextet. Tonight we were just a quintet. So took a liking to it, but I've never really been trained at all. I'm just self-taught. So, but I really appreciate the Afro-Cuban sounds and the rhythms, and you learn things as you go on. And the more you play with other percussionists, you actually learn that, oh wow, you were playing a rumba, or you were playing, a tumbao or something. And there's a lot of, when we first started back in 1977, there were no Latin jazz bands at all, or rock bands or anything. We're like a Latin jazz rock band, Old Mecca was. Now, there's a great Latin music scene in Madison. It's great, it's huge. There's 1 million bands, there's 1 million players, and there's all different styles.
Do you feel that you helped carve that niche?
I don't know if I did. I don't want to take credit for it. It just kind of came on its own. I had nothing to do with it. I'm glad it's happening. Well, those are congas, are the big ones. But I have bongos too, so I'm playing bongo and congas at the same time, which is really taboo. You're not supposed to do that. It's against the rules of Afro-Cuban percussion playing. It's called a moose, really, or whatever you want to call it.
Makes a different sound.
Well, it's just a vibration, and rubbing, and the friction rubbing on the conga skin. So, it's just what it sounds like. It's jazz that is melded together with the Latin rhythms and also the Afro-Cuban, the Afro-Cuban rhythms. All right, and that's what it is. Well, we've been playing that since the Old Mecca days. So.
What was song was that?
It's by Cal Jader. It's called Wachiwana or Soul Sauce, whatever. It's probably got several other names.